Ja, heute bei mir zu Gast eines der exzentrischsten Gastroduos weltweit aus Barcelona, Haim Lieberman und John Giraldo aus dem Spoonik in Barcelona, eines der wahrscheinlich beeindruckendsten und wahrscheinlich auch wegweisendsten Konzepte. Guys, great to have you here. Let's talk a little bit about the concept from Spoonik. All in all first. It's a concept which is extremely influenced by art, by the atmosphere as well. Provocatively speaking, is cooking not enough for having a functioning restaurant which is, you know, edgy?
Okay. I have a question now. Then, is enough to be in a place, just be in that place? We have the five senses on every time. Then it's not just to be, it's not just to eat, or it's not just to hear. The important is to have the emotions, because the influence of the five senses in the same moment.
So it's not about it's not just about being enough with the food. We believe that people can receive all this information, so why not help them with the amount, different lights, different music, or different stories behind each one of our courses.
But this means as well that you just don't want people to go and have nice food in your restaurant. You want more. What would you say do you want exactly for your guests?
Of course, the food is the most important in our place. Half of the team is just to cook the food, and all the team is prepared in haute cuisine. When we create a preparation, a plate, bite, after we have the preparation, we start to talking about the sensations, the emotions. Then we collaborate with some different artists to create every micro experience. We create the atmosphere about the color and the light. The music is a soundtrack. The dancers, actors, and everything is not a dinner show. Is the dinner or the bite can be a show
In itself.
in itself, yes.
They will be like movies. Think about the tasting menu could be like these movies without any sound. There's a story, there's a very nice thing you can watch meanwhile 1 hour and a half. But then what we want to do is cinema from these days with music, special effects, sound effects, or even
voice.
yes, or even to use a specific sound that we know that will change the mood of the people, so as the light or the atmosphere.
Yeah. Would you say that in Spain, or maybe even Europe-wide and worldwide, this could be a future concept that people not only come for, you know, eating and having the nice beef, but that it could be more than just a culinary experience?
The big public are changing every day, every year, because the millennials start to consume in multitask. We have the mobile phone in the hand, the movie in front, we are inside a conversation, eating something. This is multitask all the time.
So it's not just about creating a spectacle and something like a theater with some nice food, but it's also about telling your personal story.
Okay, so in Spoonik it's about art, because we believe that for painters the watercolor or the oil paints could be the way of expressing. For us will be food, but we help with other arts to make people understand to our ideas. So we want them to go to the past, to our origins, but also to our present or future dreams.
It's not table as a canvas. That was the past of Spoonik. Now is your brain as a canvas. We try to paint the moment in your brain to create at the end an emotion.
This concept Did it come, the idea to this concept, did it come by itself, or have you seen it somewhere else that it works?
We both are really lovers of music, so we were just looking to make the perfect selection of the music for the courses and put the correct light for that specific moment. After a while, we found out that there was a lot of scientists like Charles Spence who have made research about what happened in the brain meanwhile we're eating. So when we found out about neurogastronomy or gastrophysics is when we opened a huge window to understand what we were doing.
2 weeks ago, talking with Joan Roca of Celler de Can Roca, he say the haute cuisine will disappear as the haute cuisine we know in this moment. Of course, some incredible places around the world, but at the end, exist in this moment 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and we are 7,000 billions humans.
Fine dining, the classical fine dining experience, how we know it, it will come to an end
It will
soon?
come to...
I think so.
Yeah.
Think about a lot of our generations have grown already going to these kinds of dinner. So for some people, which I know, they say it's boring because they already eat the filet mignon, the les filetification, all the things they know and they know since they were kids. But what I think is that on these days we consume information. We are consumers of information. It's not just about researching. You want to know more.
Contents, every day, contents, and in producing contents. And in fact, the restaurants, we every day produce contents for our social media. It's because now our consumer is not just in the restaurant. The people out of the restaurant consume our product.
I think it's part of the same business on these days. You should not forget about it.
Can you capture the whole experience which you were talking about with, with music, with light, with everything? Can you capture this really into one picture on social media?
No, that's why we put a lot of pictures during the week and videos and things, because there's a bunch of things to tell. So it's like a trailer on the movie, again, cinema comes out. So it's like a little trailer, you just give a little bit of what is gonna happen.
But if you're a gastronomic entrepreneur and you're listening to both of you guys, you have the impression, how can I manage to build all this up? Because it sounds, to be honest, super expensive.
It is.
How are you coping with that? How is it working?
The original one was the Sputnik, a clandestine in my living room. Imagine.
We just used, there was no money. We used our 2 fingers with 2 different applications, and one was the iPad and the iPhone, and everything was really homemade. To say that no matter how much money you have, it's possible to create an experience like ours. Mm-hmm. We started in a house with 2 speakers and 2 applications, and then thanks for the hotel company that we have been able to do it this wide.
One thing is was extremely shocking when we had dinner yesterday. You told me that there is a new law in Spain with the 8 hours maximum. How do you want to cope with that? Because you're always, like, I have the impression, 1 step ahead.
The future.
I think this is a really strong position, because maybe years ago we get much farther than we should, and people was working a lot of hours. So it's a way to
paid very often.
Yeah, it's a way to balance, but let's see how should be balanced this.
Well, we're very curious, guys, and I'm sure that we will hear a lot from you guys in the near future.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully that everything is going to be fine, even with this 8-hour law, but nobody is having troubles here. Very great to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Really. Das war's von uns mit den beiden exzentrischen Pärchen hier neben mir.
That we are.
Wir sehen uns bald wieder. Alles Neue und Weitere gibt es natürlich in der neuen Rolling Pin Ausgabe. Und bitte nicht vergessen, unsere Facebook-Page zu liken. In diesem Sinne, ciao, ciao.
Ciao.